The ocean was calm, its surface shimmering under the light of the moon. Beneath the waves, Aquaman, Arthur Curry, king of Atlantis, glided through the water with ease. His golden trident gleamed in his hand, a symbol of his power and responsibility. He was on a routine patrol, ensuring the safety of his kingdom and the creatures of the sea. But tonight, something felt different. The water was colder, the currents restless. As he approached a remote Atlantis outpost, his sharp senses picked up on an unusual disturbance. The outpost, a small settlement built into a coral reef, was in ruins. The once vibrant structures were now shattered, and the water was filled with debris. Aquaman's heart sank as he swam closer, his trident at the ready. Survivors huddled together, their faces pale with fear. Among them was an old Atlantis soldier, his armor cracked and his voice trembling. "My king," he said, bowing his head. "We were attacked by a sorceress. She controls the sea itself. Her magic is unlike anything we've ever seen." Aquaman's jaw tightened. "A sorceress? Who is she?" The soldier hesitated. "She calls herself the Water Witch. She emerged from the deepest trenches, her power growing with every wave. She seeks to claim the ocean as her own." Before Aquaman could respond, the water around them began to churn violently. A dark shadow loomed in the distance, growing larger and more menacing. The survivors screamed as a massive tidal wave surged toward them, carrying with it an army of enchanted sea creatures. Their eyes glowed with an eerie light, and their movements were unnaturally swift. Aquaman raised his trident, summoning his own powers to calm the waters. But the wave was too powerful, crashing into the outpost and scattering the survivors. From the chaos emerged the Water Witch, her presence commanding and terrifying. She was tall and slender, her dark robes flowing around her like the currents of the ocean. Her eyes glowed with a cold blue light, and her voice echoed with an otherworldly power. "Arthur Curry," she said, her tone dripping with disdain. "You call yourself the king of Atlantis, yet you are unworthy of the ocean's might. I will take what is rightfully mine." Aquaman glared at her, his grip tightening on his trident. "The ocean belongs to all who live within it. I won't let you destroy it." The Water Witch laughed, a sound that sent shivers through the water. "You cannot stop me. The sea bends to my will." With a wave of her hand, she summoned a whirlpool, its currents pulling Aquaman and the survivors toward its center. Aquaman fought against the force, using his trident to create a countercurrent. He managed to free himself and the survivors, but the Water Witch was already gone, her laughter echoing in the depths. As the survivors regrouped, Aquaman knew he had to act fast. The Water Witch's power was growing, and if he didn't stop her, the entire ocean would fall under her control. He needed a plan, and a weapon powerful enough to match her magic. Back in Atlantis, Aquaman sought the counsel of his advisors. The city's archives were filled with ancient texts and legends, and he hoped to find a clue that could help him defeat the Water Witch. After hours of searching, he stumbled upon a forgotten legend, the Trident of Poseidon. According to the legend, the Trident of Poseidon was a weapon of immense power, capable of controlling the seas and countering dark magic. It had been hidden away in a sunken temple, guarded by deadly traps and mythical sea creatures. Many had sought the trident, but none had returned. Aquaman knew it was a dangerous mission, but he had no other choice. With the Trident of Poseidon, he might stand a chance against the Water Witch. He gathered his gear and set off, leaving Atlantis in the hands of his most trusted advisors. The journey was perilous. The temple was located in the deepest, darkest part of the ocean, a place even Aquaman rarely ventured. As he descended, the pressure grew intense and the water grew colder. Strange creatures lurked in the shadows, their eyes glowing with an unnatural light. Aquaman used his trident to fend them off, his determination unwavering. When he finally reached the temple, he was met with a series of challenges. The entrance was guarded by a massive sea serpent, its scales glistening like polished stone. Aquaman fought the creature, using his strength and agility to outmaneuver it. With a final thrust of his trident, he defeated the serpent and entered the temple. Inside, the temple was a labyrinth of traps and puzzles. Aquaman had to navigate through narrow corridors, avoiding pressure plates and dart traps. He solved ancient riddles and outwitted the temple's guardians, his mind as sharp as his trident. At the heart of the temple, he found the Trident of Poseidon. It was larger and more ornate than his current trident, its 3 prongs glowing with a soft blue light. As he reached for it, the ground beneath him began to shake. The Water Witch had found him. "You are persistent, Arthur Curry," she said, her voice echoing through the temple. "But the Trident of Poseidon will not save you." Aquaman grabbed the trident and turned to face her. "We'll see about that." The two clashed in a fierce battle, their powers shaking the temple to its core. The Water Witch's magic was formidable, but the Trident of Poseidon gave Aquaman the edge he needed. With a powerful strike, he forced her to retreat, her laughter fading into the depths. Aquaman emerged from the temple victorious, the Trident of Poseidon in hand. But he knew the real battle was yet to come. The Water Witch's assault on Atlantis was swift and merciless. She summoned a massive tidal wave, its force threatening to destroy the city. Aquaman rallied the Atlantis army, using the Trident of Poseidon to create a barrier that held back the wave. But the Water Witch was relentless, her magic growing stronger with every passing moment. Aquaman knew he had to lure her into a trap. He used the trident to create a powerful vortex, weakening her magic and drawing her into the open. The two faced off in the heart of the ocean, their powers clashing in a spectacular display of light and energy. The battle was intense. The Water Witch summoned storms and sea monsters, while Aquaman used the trident to control the currents and counter her spells. The fight took them through the ocean depths, their movements swift and precise. Aquaman's strength and determination were unmatched, but the Water Witch's power was immense. In the end, it was Aquaman's wit that turned the tide. He used the trident to create a massive whirlpool, trapping the Water Witch in its center. With a final, powerful strike, he shattered her magic and banished her to the depths of the ocean. As the water calmed, Aquaman returned to Atlantis, the Trident of Poseidon in hand. The city was safe, but he knew the ocean's balance remained fragile. He vowed to protect it at all costs, his resolve stronger than ever.